Hi everybody, and welcome to the first video of my new series, Alone in Canada, 21 Ways to Make It Better. This series is intended to be a guide for single newcomers, so for people who want to immigrate to Canada or already immigrated to Canada on their own, by themselves, without their family, without a spouse, without children, and what are some of the challenges they may face and how to overcome those challenges. I'm going to talk about one topic per video, so if you don't want to miss any of my videos, please make sure you click the subscribe button below and that the little bell button next to it is also on, so you can get notified every time one of my videos comes out. So today's video, I'm going to talk about living in a new culture. And I want to start by talking about culture shock. Culture shock is the stress of living in a new culture. It's a normal part of adjusting, has to do with getting used to new foods, new language, new people, new activities. It may affect you both physically and mentally. You may feel sad or angry. You may feel that you can't trust anyone because you don't know anyone in your new country. You may feel homesick. You may feel that you get tired easily, or that you have headaches or stomach aches. Many newcomers experience culture shock. There's not much we can do to avoid it, but there are ways to cope with it. The first thing is to realize that you experience culture shock and that there's nothing to be ashamed of. That's just to do with the strangeness of things around you. And culture shock runs in the series of stages. So over time, your experience with culture shock will change. And over time, you will experience those different stages over and over again. The first stage is excitement. When you first arrive in Canada after a long and bureaucratic process to become a permanent resident, you arrive here and everything is wonderful, seems wonderful to you. Everything is new, it's perfect, you're excited to start a new life here. You may be busy finding a place to live, trying to find a job, learning how things work in terms of transportation and society, and this stage of excitement may last from one day to a few months, but sadly it will fade over time. Next stage is sad and anger. After a while living in Canada, you may realize that life here it's not as easy as you thought it would be. You may have difficulty finding a job in your field, or feel frustrated when you go to a job interview and they say that you don't have Canadian work experience. And you realize that Canadian employers don't recognize your work experience from your home country because they don't know those companies you work for, or they don't care that you graduated with top marks from a university in your home country because they don't know that university either. And that's really frustrating. Or speaking English, having to communicate in English all day, every day, hearing others speaking English, having to listen English all day, every day, speaking English all day, every day, may make you feel tired, especially if you're not a native English speaker. If you are a native English speaker, you may feel you have to concentrate more to understand the Canadian accents, or accents from other immigrants in Canada. You may feel frustrated that you have to repeat yourself over and over again so you can be understood by others. You may even wonder if coming to Canada was the right decision. The third stage is feeling more settled. So eventually those feelings of sadness, of anger, frustration will fade too. You start getting used to Canadian culture, to getting food, the people, and you start to make sense of things that puzzle you before or hurt you before. The fourth stage is that inner conflict of living between two cultures. It may take years for you to call Canada home, and you might find that the values of Canadian society may contradict with the values of your own country, of what you were used to, and you may struggle with that, an inner struggle of at the same time adapting to living in Canada, but at the same time having those beliefs and the culture from your own country, which may be completely different from Canadian culture and from what Canadian society believes in. This feeling of culture shock may fade over time and disappear completely, or it can come back over and over again, but it does not last forever. And I'm going to end this video with a little bit of an exercise. I'm going to ask 4 questions to people who are already inside Canada by themselves, without a spouse, without children, and these 4 questions are going to help you think and realize if you're experiencing culture shock. So you can grab a pen and paper if you like. So the first question is, which of the following do you feel the most? Excited, sad, angry, or content in your new home in Canada? Second question is, what people, things, or experiences have made you feel like an outsider in your new home? Third question is, what people, things, or experiences have made you feel comfortable in your new home? And the fourth question is there anything you could do to make yourself feel better? You can write those questions down and you can answer them for yourself if you like, and to understand if you're experiencing culture shock. And or if you like, you can answer those questions. You can share your answers with us through the comment section of this video, so that other immigrants or prospective immigrants may benefit from your experiences. That's all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and my next video on this series is going to be about making friends.